Hello everybody, my name is Ostentatious24 and welcome back to... Welcome to, I guess, not welcome back to. Whoops. Anyways, hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. This was a last minute short video I kind of thought of as a neat little idea, especially given it's Thanksgiving and stuff. I figure I'd go over... I think I'd go over it in my most recent... I honestly don't know because it's been so long since I recorded that. Oh my god, it's been almost 2 months. I've just been so busy. I haven't been able to sit down, edit it, and post it. My last fan game video idea. Anyways, I think I talk about it because I needed more fire types, blah, blah, blah. I'll explain in that video. I'm not going to get into that here. But anyways, I added a turkey Pokemon. And I figure I'd show off, its name, typing, and possibly its design, maybe. I decided, because I don't want to rely on AI to make all these, AI art, but at the same time I don't have the tools at my disposal currently to draw the Pokemon myself. So, like I said in the first video, I believe, I'm doing 3 specifically that will be AI generated, and I want people to try to play a guessing game. Which of these 121, yes, there's now 121 instead of 100, also explained in the previous video, or next video, whenever, the second episode of it, I suppose. Anyways, shit, what was I talking about? Oh, no, I didn't mean to say that word, no. Not that I mind cursing, I'm just... I curse a little too much, so I've tried to keep myself under the control and tone myself down. I got into a bad habit of doing that for the past several years. Anyways, what was I talking about? Turkeys. Pokemon. 121. I don't know. It's gone. Crap. Oh, right. I was going to have people play a guessing game and decide which of those 121 were... I might up that up to 5 now, maybe. Especially if people like this turkey that I made. Get into that in a few seconds. Hold on to your horses. Hold on to your horsies or Rapidashes. Anyways, there's going to be 3 to 5 Pokemon that are going to be AI generated, and I thought it'd be a fun game if people guessed which ones were versus which ones were actually handmade-ish. Some of them I might take parts of existing Pokemon if it'll make it easier, versus others I will probably hand draw myself if I have a particular vision in mind. Maybe something to that effect. Maybe a mix of both. We'll see whenever I have the opportunity, whenever I have the ability and find a good drawing app or site or something. I don't know if DeviantArt is okay or not. I've tried asking people around, but no one's really responded or answered me on that. It's mostly about safety of my device and stuff, because I've gone to shady websites before and it's killed computers. Especially, it was my first laptop specifically. I tried downloading the Slender Shadows games, and I'm almost 100% sure that's what killed it, because there was a bunch of... It could have been something else, I suppose, but there was a bunch of things and downloading, looking things, and all sorts of things happening on the screen. So I force shut it down, I tried turning it back on, and it would not turn on. So... yeah. That's why whenever I ask about a website, whether it's DeviantArt or something else, I try to ask around to see if it's actually safe or not. Computers are kind of expensive. So anyways, point being, I decided for this one, I don't know if this will count towards the 3 or 5. Maybe depending on how people like this or not, but I decided to AI generate a turkey Pokemon, but at the same time I hand drew it on a sketch pad. It's a little rough around the edges. Partially because I'm rusty. It's been a long time since I've actually drawn anything. I'm a little out of shape. I need a... It doesn't help my hands get a little... Ah! Especially now, my middle finger... It has this weird feeling, and it's not a pain, but it's kind of a pain, aching kind of feeling, where it feels like I need to pop and crack it, but even after I've popped and cracked it, it keeps... I've looked it up, and it might be a nerve thing. I don't know. Anyways, I have some hand issues, so I don't know if that will handicap me from drawing a little bit or not. But it wasn't while I was drawing this. It should be on the screen now, I suppose. I'll probably put it up on the screen. Right here, right now, do it now. Yeah, there it is. Honestly, I don't like it. It's a little too generic. Setting aside being rough around the edges, it's a little too generic for me. Because it's similar to a lot of bird stylized creatures I've made. Like, I've made fan-made Pokemon in the past, birds, of which will be in a future, they're legendaries too, which will be in a future fan game. They're not in this one, the first one. They'll be possibly in the 5th one, I'm thinking. Whatever region that's based on, that I'm not going to spoil. I think I'm going to spoil the next... I'm going to spoil the 2nd one if I haven't already. I feel like I did by accident or because I couldn't hold myself back. And then I think I'm going to spoil the 4th game I have planned. Or at least the region, the country, part of the world it's going to be based on. I'll get into that at the end of the video, I guess. Anyways, it was a little rough around the edges, and it's a little too samey to various other mythical bird-like creatures I've drawn before. Like, I've drawn a phoenix, I've drawn firebirds and thunderbirds and all sorts of things. It's a little too samey for my taste. You'll have to let me know if you like this in the comments and stuff below. Versus, flip over to the AI-generated ones. There's 4 of them. The site I used generates 4 at a time, or less, depending on how inspired, I guess you could say, the generator is. And honestly, I didn't think they were bad. One of them, its foot's a little weird. It's left foot, but besides that, it's probably my favorite out of them with how it glows and stuff. But at the same time, all of them look too much like Ho-Oh a little bit, which is I've never looked at Ho-Oh, but I guess it is kind of turkey-esque. What is... I mean, it's based off of Fen Wang, a phoenix, the Chinese phoenix, but is it based off of a particular bird? I'm not sure about that, actually. So, I don't know. Let me know if you liked any of these and which ones were your favorite. Maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends on if people like them or not. I might use it for the middle evolution, I was also thinking. Or no, it's only 2 stages. Okay, never mind. Well, I could... Well, okay. It's only 2 stages, and then I have another idea for... Flip back! We're flipping back to my drawing. As I was drawing it and finishing it up and putting some finishing touches on the basic concept of its outline and stuff, it was looking a little too samey, as I said, but then I started to think about other aspects of it, and honestly, it was kind of looking like a cockatrice, which, for those that don't know, is basically the D&D basilisk, quote-unquote. It bugs me a little bit. I've never been a D&D fan. I've always been interested in it, but I've never gotten around to playing it myself, partially because I never had friends that were interested in it. But this and various other medias, I remember this monster hunting show I watched with my brother as a kid. He was more so into it, and then I got into it because I think it was more so about cryptids, not necessarily monsters. It had a slime episode, and then the characters switched bodies somehow in the slime. It was weird. But then they were also hunting a basilisk in another episode. Was that the same episode? I don't know. And it was like this. The basilisk in its actual mythology is the king of serpents. It's a snake. And I mean, I like the idea of people being creative and designing their own little things around them, but at the same time, it's like... then it's giving misconception of what the actual mythological creature is. So everyone that looks at like the snake from Harry Potter, I mean, it's... I can't say one-to-one if it's exactly like the basilisk of myth, but it's more closely to that being an actual snake versus the D&D basilisk, which is actually more designed after the cockatrice, while having the powers of Medusa, I believe, in turning things to stone, which neither the basilisk nor the cockatrice actually have the ability to do. Their death glares just outright kill you. You just collapse from and die on the spot if you gaze into their eyes. They have the same weaknesses too. They have that shared ability. However, the cockatrice is more dragon-like and is able to breathe fire, versus the basilisk, again, kind of like in Harry Potter, has the most deadly venom in the entire... Right? Yeah. Venom's when you inject it. I can't even remember the name of the other one. It's not simply poisoning. Venom versus... Let me look it up. Venom versus... Oh, I guess it is just poison. I thought there was another name for it. Okay. Spitting cobra. Yeah. Fire salamanders. Oh. Toxins. Garter snakes? What? They're harmless! Okay. Deadly nightshade. Well, yes. Okay, so yeah, I guess poisonous is when it's just to the touch versus venom is being injected into you. I don't know why I thought there was another word for poisonous. Okay. The Asian tiger snake can use toxins from its diet of poisonous toads as a defense mechanism. It can also inject venom through its fangs. Jesus Christ, that's a snake that's both. Dear God, that's horrifying. And it's named after the deadliest cat on the planet. Oh my God. Anyways, so yeah, the cockatrice is more designed in like a dragon-esque kind of appearance. It's like a rooster mixed with a dragon. And then they're hatching a bit. How they're hatched is different too. I can never remember them. I always mix them up. Basilisk, snake, hatch, versus cockatrice. One is through the... Okay, the basilisk is from the egg of a serpent or toad, hatched by a rooster sitting on it. And then the cockatrice is the opposite. It's a chicken egg hatched by a serpent or a toad sitting on it. Right. Cicatrice. What the hell? Wait. Somebody misspelled that. But yeah, they're two different creatures from two different mythologies, too, I believe. I can't remember where the cockatrice is from. Oh my God, why can't I remember where the basilisk is from either? I don't think it's Egyptian or Greek. Anyways, it was kind of looking like a cockatrice. And I was like, I might be able to work with this. So maybe the AI generated one of them, could be the middle evolution. But like I said, I only have two. Prior, I thought I had three, but now I'm workshopping the idea that maybe I could add a third evolution in one of my later gens, which would make it the turkey evolve into a cockatrice, which might be cool. And then it could be fire dragon type. That would be sick. I should do that. It would probably be in my... Drumroll, please. The fourth region is going to be based on Greek and Roman. Greece and Rome. It's going to be 2 regions in one. That's definitely going to be... Never mind. That is not my biggest project. The 5th one's my biggest project. That's going to be even bigger than that. Get psyched for that. And then the second region is going to be based upon Ireland, because okay, again, I probably talked about previously, but I'll talk about quickly here. I didn't like how for Galar they just grouped all of Europe, not Europe, the UK. Apologies about that. European citizens like French aren't part of the UK. But they grouped all of the UK into one region, which, especially because in the past, regions have been split up a lot more. Like, Alola or Unova isn't all of America. Unova's mostly based on New York. Maybe it has some aspects of New Jersey. I'm not sure about that. I know for certain it's based off of New York in New York City. Versus the Ore region from Coliseum and Gale of Darkness is based on Phoenix, Arizona. Or maybe it's all of Arizona. I don't know. And then Alola is Hawaii. And then going back to Gens 1 through 4, all of them are based upon different regions of Japan. And it is so much smaller than well, America for certain. But it's smaller than, I don't know, is it smaller than France? Or even Hawaii? How big is Japan? I don't think it's bigger than... I think it's bigger than Hawaii. I mean, I was going to say, I don't think Hawaii is bigger than Japan because it's smaller islands and a chain that makes up Hawaii. But anyways, they've done it in the past, so I don't know why they didn't split the UK up in different parts. Like, they could have just had Britain. And Ireland is so unique in landscape and the people and culture and mythology and various other aspects. They could have full-blown made a completely separate region for that. Same with Scotland. And I think they grouped a little bit of Scotland into Galar too, because that's part of the UK. And it's kind of a shame, especially because I have Irish and Scottish heritage, and Scottish-Irish. Which I have Irish and Scottish through my dad, and then my mom is Scottish-Irish. Not that there's much of a difference, I believe. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, it was just... It was kind of disappointing, and I mean, there was various other reasons. Galar, Sword and Shield were disappointing. The story, for instance, a lot of the characters. But... it just, they could have gone whole hog in and done a completely separate region. I don't think I'm going to do Scotland. Maybe if my fan games get a lot of traction, that could be my 6th region. But as far as I have planned already, just 5 regions I'm planning. 5 sets of games. Quote-unquote games. 5 different types of dexes, characters, etc. And the second one's going to be based off of Ireland. Purely Ireland. I thought about throwing in maybe some Scottish stuff, but I don't think I'm going to do that because then again, that would just be stupid and grouping what doesn't need to be grouped together. There might be, like, maybe I could throw in some characters that are visiting from a Scottish quote-unquote region, or various other things, because they have history and stuff. But, like, it's going to be purely Ireland-based. And then I won't spoil the third one. I won't... Oh, I almost did. I almost let my mouth run on that one. Because that one's going to be... That one's... I'm just going to go crazy on. I'm going to have fun making it. It's not going to be serious at all. The 4th and 5th region, I'm probably going to go really serious on, especially for the story that I want to explore for the 4th fan-made region, being based on Greek and Rome, especially with that rivalry there. And then the 5th region is going to be a mix of both. It's going to be real fun, but it's going to take every aspect that I've learned along the way. I already have ideas for the story, some characters, one of the starters, various other elements. It's going to be a huge project. If I get that far, I suppose. This could all just be killed by Nintendo and Game Freak and the Pokemon Company with upon all of the details of the first quote-unquote game being out. And I don't know if they're actually going to become games. I've said that before. I'll say it again. Just because I'm not a game developer, I'm just taking my story know-how and artsy know-how and character development know-how, etc., and making I guess a blueprint, scripts, a kind of layout for what I would like to see from a game if I made one. Maybe I'll tackle in the future. Depends if I get into learning how to make games or if I ran into someone that is more into that kind of stuff. That'd help too. So anyways, and part of the reason for that is the major Pokemon leak back in, what was it, October? I didn't see any of them. I saw, especially my boy. Oh, poor Typhlosion. He's my first starter, damn it. Why? He's being memed all over the place and ruined. My boy Volcano would never do such behavior, nor his ancestor Vesuvius and my Legends Arceus. That would never happen, damn it. Because I've watched some YouTubers that covered memes and various other things exploring that stuff. But none of the actual Pokemon leaks, except one. I don't remember how I stumbled upon it. I don't know if it popped up in my recommendations on YouTube or if I came across it on Google. But I got the possible titles of Gen 10 possibly leaked to me, maybe. I don't remember the names, but I think they have to do with wind and water. And for some reason, just something in my gut told me this could be based on a Greece-based region, maybe. It is very possible. It's not a guarantee, obviously, but with the description of some things, I didn't click on the video if it was if it was a video, or the site if it was a website, but there was something in my core that I knew, oh, this is something big. This is something so I wanted to get the idea out there that, I mean, if it's based on, I don't think it'd take over my 4th or 5th region, especially because the 5th region is going to be more hot, desolate. I'll leave it at that. And then cold and desolate. I'll leave it at that. And then the second one's a lot more inland, I believe. The second region and its countries it's based on. Or the third one. The second one's Ireland. It could be an Ireland-based region, too. I think that'd be unlikely. But just for some reason, I feel like it's going to be very Greek-based. It wouldn't be Polynesian because that's Hawaiian, and we already have Alola. What is another very oceanic-centric country? Sumeria's already kind of covered in Paldea, which would be Mesopotamia and Babylon, etc. I don't think there's... Maybe Australia, that's possible. It could be possible, I guess. Or maybe it's another section of Japan, who knows. But just, for some reason, I felt at my core that it might be Greek-based. I'm not confirming it, especially since I didn't see the spoilers. It's just, whenever I have this kind of gut feeling, it usually comes true, it seems. So I figured I'd throw out my idea out there, in case anyone makes fun of me and says I'm stealing ideas. I am not. I had the idea first, damn it. Like years ago. It would be a completely different project. If there's any similarities, it is coincidental. I'm not in the know of anything. That is what I wanted to get out there about that. On top of, giving out the idea of my turkey-based Pokemon, and would you like to see a cockatrice Pokemon? To which, in conjunction, I would obviously make a Basilisk Pokemon. I mean, I was already playing that anyways. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but because I love the mythology of the Basilisk, there was no way in hell I wasn't going to make a Basilisk-based Pokemon. A proper one! A snake one! So yeah, that's my thoughts, on all of that, I guess. I feel like I had something else, but I can't remember it. Oh, right. I'm going to throw some pictures I used as inspiration for while I was drawing on the sketchpad. I looked up some pictures of Pokemon and animals. I used Moltres and Ho-Oh especially for inspiration, for kind of going off of what a bird-ish Pokemon should look like. And then I was taking aspects of, obviously, turkeys and various other things while I was drawing my turkey Pokemon, quote-unquote. Looking at a picture of this cockatrice, yeah, I accidentally made a cockatrice. I'm just good at drawing mythological animals. I've never been good at drawing real animals. Like, one time I tried drawing a horse, and it was god-awful. But then, like, a couple weeks later for art class, I drew a frickin' hippogriff. It's a horse, eagle, lion thing that's born from a griffin. I drew a griffin, too, and both of them looked perfectly fine and cool and good, and I was like, I don't understand it. Prehistoric animals, too. Like, I can draw a decent T-Rex, Spinosaurus, etc. I think those are those the only dinosaurs I've really drawn? Might have drawn a Brachiosaurus at some point, but I don't have it if I did. Like, I didn't pin up. I taped my drawing of the T-Rex and Spinosaurus on a wall in my room while I was at my dad's. I think it's still up there. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to take a look and see what I used for inspiration while drawing my turkey Pokemon. And I think that's it, maybe? I don't think there was anything else I wanted to talk about. It was just this because it's Thanksgiving and... Oh, well, okay. I mean, I'd probably go over it in the video, but... it's gonna be... I mean, if you couldn't tell from the art, and I've used Ho-Oh as an example, and Moltres, it's gonna be Fire Flying type... Because I need fire types, and I forgot what... Did I give it abilities? I might not have given it abilities yet. Do I give it one of my new abilities, or do I... Oh, it's Baby. Peelt. Which is... What does that mean? I don't remember what that means. Peelt? That's something to do with a baby turkey. Boop 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 boop. Sorry, this video is kind of all over the place. It all comes together in the end, but I just have trouble controlling myself. Come on, find it. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you, little bastards? Oh, the possum, the frog. That one was just, I couldn't think of any more ideas, but I wanted to round it out to 120. So I was like, sure, bullfrogs are around. There's a bullfrog in my pond. There's a bunch of bullfrogs in my pond at the time. It's cold now, so they're probably hibernating. So then I was playing Konosuba at the time, so I was like, I'll make a tadpole and a frog Pokemon. Bullpole, it's a tadpole of a bullfrog. And then there's... What? Tadpole to... Why is Brogs there? Okay, whatever. They try to act tough, but are so adorable, and just as adorable as a Spedbo or a Pichu, and as pathetic as a Magikarp. They're... yeah, they're going to be gimmicky, splashing, baby, poor Pokemon, Bulpos, baby tadpole Pokemon. And then it evolves into Brog, which is a giant bullfrog, which I was playing Konosuba at the time. So yeah, it's gonna be that big. It's a big freaking frog that's capable of eating people, horses, various other things. Just because I'm crazy like that, I couldn't think of any better ideas for the last 2 slots. I don't know if I talked about that one in my other video, but if I didn't, here it is. If I did, oh well. Where are you? Raccoons. There it is. Pelt. Okay, I knew it was pelt, like pelting things, throwing things. Poult, which are baby turkeys. Poult or I guess poultry, yeah. And then Torque E is the turkey. For torque and turkey using fire, it is capable of flight but only for brief moments. Kicking up off the air, it only gets a few jumps out of this, but due to the great heights can still go long distances, gliding, falling with style to any place it needs to. Used widely for food during many holidays. And then, if I do make my drawing the 3rd evolution, Torque Trice maybe? Which would be, because torque is in like, to torque a whatever. I'm thinking vehicle. Torquing a vehicle? Is that torque versus horsepower? Yeah, okay. So that's, yes, because that's how it's propelling itself into the air and capable of quote-unquote flight. It uses flames and the powerful muscles to launch itself into the air. Meanwhile, if it evolves into a cockatrice, Torcatrice would be possibly its name. And what if I put like boosters on it or something? That'd be interesting and weird. Anyways, Pult, however I want to pronounce that, I don't know. Will be normal fire type. It's unable to fly, being a baby. And kind of like Arcan and Archeops. Are those the only ones? They're flying types, quote unquote, but the animals themselves weren't capable of flight. So that they're based on, like, despite being named after an Archaeopteryx, Arcan and Archeops are more so appearance looking like raptors. Like the Velociraptor would be Arcan and not a Utah Raptor. Deinonychus. Especially its head looks more like a Deinonychus, the head of Archeops. So it'd be kind of like that, where it's flying type, but quote unquote, but actually in the world itself, it can't really fly well, at least. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, what's it? Oh, wait, I had a name? Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Oh, I did have a 3rd one. Maliagnus. I don't know how the frick you'd pronounce that. Maliagris, the scientific name for turkeys. Ignis for fire, ignite. Too hard to catch, too dangerous, and too strong. These turkey Pokemon rocket around in the sky nearly as fast as a Pidgeot. Going over Mach... Yeah, in the Pokedex, Pidgeot are claimed to go over Mach 1 speeds. Wings still not meant for flight, but like a plane helps to steer around in the air. So that could be what my... If I don't make it off... We'll workshop it. And I'm open to hearing all of you lovely people, you lovely lads and ladies, hearing your thoughts in the comments below. So let me know your thoughts. If you think it's good enough to be... My drawing is good enough to be a turkey, if it would fill out the role of the 2nd or 3rd evolution. Or if you like the AI designs and are fine with them, then maybe I could use that for the 2nd or 3rd one. Or should I develop my artsy drawn one into a cockatrice? Or if I don't, then that just gives me more free room to, from scratch, draw a new Pokemon, I guess. So let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And once again, had a happy Thanksgiving. So, with all that being said, I hope you have a lovely day and evening as well. And I hope to see you next... Forgetting my outro. Until whatever... Until next time, whatever it is I may do, I hope to see you then. I flubbed that real bad. Okay, goodbye and farewell.